What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 101 of Two Dudes of Sports News. As always, man, it's Garrett here with my co-host.
What it do? What it do? This is Jalen Prince, and I think we're somewhat similar to Dalmatians.
How so?
Well,
that.
Yeah.
But it's been a day. That went right over my head. Oh my God. Y'all are noticing I got the Jaguars hat back on. If you're seeing this live or watching it back,
my Seahawks got the dub. My Hawks beat the Knicks. It's always good beating the New York team.
Hey, where's the broom? That was a sweep, wasn't it?
What?
Didn't you sweep the Redbirds?
Yeah, we got them. Yeah, we got them Redbirds.
Where's that broom at? So, but no, Jaguars had one of the ugliest wins I've ever seen. I know this season's pretty much a lost cause, but to me, a win is a win, and I'll go 4 and whatever as long as we beat the Titans 2 times. I don't care.
I agree with that.
I'm not losing to Tennessee. I'm not losing to Tennessee. That's something we're not doing. But thank you guys for joining us. If you're joining us live, whenever you come in, great. We're mainly going to talk a lot of Marshall tonight. Because there's been a lot of stuff going around that, and I kind of wanted to. I'm close with some Marshall fans who have really been paying attention to it, so I wanted to get more of a sort of behind the scenes look with that. Come on now, sorry, trying to get this thing working. There we go. Sorry, computer was lagging up a little bit. We're going to talk the Marshall situation. We're going to talk Bill Belichick to UNC and what that means for NFL teams that are.
We're leading off with that.
Then let's lead off with that. We got some college football playoffs. We got some Heisman debate because you and I disagree. And we got a little bit more. So let's lead off with Bill to North Carolina right now. And Bill Belichick. Are we going to do it like Vince McMahon?
No.
North Carolina.
No. You don't say North Carolina like that without references to like one of the rappers. I don't know the name, but one of my best friends, you know him very well. He's a big Tar Heel fan, but in
which one?
JT.
Oh, hey, shout out JT, man. Hope you're doing well. But Belichick has gone to North Carolina. To me, I couldn't be happier. We'll get to the contract details in a minute because y'all know that's what I love. I love breaking this down from a financial standpoint. This is the only kind of math that I enjoy and that I'm good at. To me, it's a situation with it's good for me. Because I did not want that old man on my Jaguars. Did not want him there. Could not be happier that he's nowhere near this team. And he's over in UNC. He's in Chapel Hill. He's your problem now. Jalen, before we get to the contract, your immediate reaction, what do you think?
My reaction was he's not going to Dallas, so I guess that's a good thing. My next reaction was
good for Dallas.
I don't know how it's gonna work. That's my only thought process because we know he can coach football. That's all he wants to do. Fix. All right.
Listen, Jalen, all I want to do is just coach football. You know, I'm on
the next day. And here's the thing: I don't even think he's on that type of vibe anymore. Like
he might be.
Dog, he got a young one now. He got a whole different type of energy. But
it's weird, man.
I don't know how that
weird to me.
I've been seeing the memes, the TikToks. By the way, that's about to get banned in a few days, and I hate it. But it is what it is. I just don't know how. My only question is, when you're a college football coach, you got to be able to recruit, and it's not like NFL. You got to deal with boosters, you got to deal with donors, you got to deal with parents, you got to deal with this, that, and you got to deal with executives, you got to deal with administration, you got to deal with presidents. And you talking about like you got a big problem dealing with media with the NFL. It's a different ball game when you're in the South and you're a college football.
Mm-hmm.
So
here's my thing. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, like my only thing is I just don't know how it's gonna work. Or if
we already know Bill can recruit college age people.
No comment.
Let's get it. I mean, look, from a standpoint, what they did is they brought in a guy who has proven success at the next level. He has the NFL connections, and that's going to be attractive to players who, obviously, most of these guys, if not all of them, want to make it to the next level of the game. So this is going to give players a chance to learn from a Super Bowl winning head coach. Now, my biggest concern is who he's bringing on this staff, and are they bringing a modern approach to the game?
But here's another thing. Bill Belichick does not have a good track record as far as bringing on actual talent.
It's going to be Matt Patricia.
So how
get back together?
I don't know how that recruiting is going to be. If you want to be able to win in college football, especially in the ACC, which is very much wide open outside of Florida State, even though they had a down year. Florida State, I think they're going to bounce back. Clemson, who's just now entering into using the transfer portal reportedly. Miami, SMU. I mean, there's only
Syracuse.
If for you to compete in college football, you need to be able to recruit talent. It's not being drafted. You have to get them to want to come play for you.
For sure.
And I don't know how Bill Belichick is going to be able to do that in this day and time.
No, and I'm with you. It worries me a bit. Like I said, the biggest question for me and why I didn't want Bill in Jacksonville was, has the game passed him by? And I don't know. And that unknown is what bothers me. But let's get into his contract. We got it going across the ticker at the bottom of the screen if you're watching this live. If you haven't figured out, you can watch us live when we go. Follow us on Twitter at TDSN Pod. We're on StreamYard. What?
We're not on Twitter yet.
I'm saying that if you want to get notified when we're going live, turn on the bell on YouTube. We're on Facebook. And then what you can also do is you can follow us on Twitter at TDSN Pod, and you'll see right before we tweet out, or we'll tweet out the time and where you can join it, interact with you guys in the comments. It'll be fun. So what we're going to end up doing, like I said, let's go over his contract real quick. It is 5 years, 50, the baseline. I'm not going to get into all the semantics, everything, because that's a different show, and that's fun for me and not everybody else. So 5 years, $50 million. It's 3 years, $30 million guaranteed. The last, in case he gets fired without cause, the last 2 years are completely unguaranteed. He has a base salary of $1 million with $9 million in spending and everything else that he can do. $3.5 million in annual bonuses that are tied to final rank, up to $3.5 million of annual bonuses that are tied to their final rank, their total amount of wins, if they make, or how they do in the ACC championship and any college football playoff games, which we will get into the playoffs later. He also gets $10 million to allocate to assistant coaches and support staff. And UNC has agreed to increase, and this is where I think it's going to help him in recruiting, the NIL spending from $4 million to $20 million.
Okay, that might do it.
That's going to help a little bit.
That might do it. He might not be able to recruit, but negotiations.
Money talks.
That's true, especially now.
Money talks, and it's one of those things that, to quote Kendrick, if you're a player in the portal and you're between deciding on whether you can get this money now or getting it. Now that one, as a player, if you're at the point where you're trying to decide on whether you should get the money now and there's any doubt on whether you're going to go pro or not, if I were a player, I choose me. I'm gonna get the money now, and I'm gonna get it when I can, because this isn't guaranteed. So I don't mind it. Another thing too is his buyout starts at $10 million until June 1st, 2025, and then it drops down to $1 million. So if they don't like the direction they're headed after a year, they can just do the buyout right then, which is interesting to me. I mean, the UNC is really, they also seem to be really, really cautious about this.
Because they're football, they really ain't got nothing else to lose. I mean, USC is predominantly known for basketball. Right. Baseball has hosted a few regionals the last few years. They got a rich history in baseball, but football is not something they have been synonymous for.
Right.
I think it's a good move for North Carolina as a whole, and I think because that you're in the NIL era where you have a lot of people being able to buy a lot of players using that money and going from $4 million up to $20 million. That helps out a lot. So
that's going to help a lot.
I think that's going to be able to get a lot of guys to be able to come and play for North Carolina. And that's not shooting hoops.
I want to see what the top NFL or NIL football programs are, because I'm curious. Because as of August, we'll do August 29th. We'll do the top 50 NIL collective. Well, yeah.
Texas.
Just as I'm curious. Memphis Tigers, what? Nation's top 15 versus into 22 are the most generous givers. I don't care about that. I want to see what they're spending NIL wise. NIL collectors in college sports. Ohio State's number 1, Tennessee's number 2, Texas number 3, Oregon's number 4. This is as of August 29th per On3. Miami's number 5. I don't know what that one or what their money they're doing is. Oh, well, honestly, if this is right, then this would put them in at the top with everybody. Because I'm trying to find this. I want to make sure I get this information right. So Miami did $15 million for football. So this would put them way over that. I don't know where Ohio State sits or anything. This would put them above Tennessee, which is the number 2 NIL per On3. This is the number 2 NIL group. They have, where was it? It's the Spire Sports Group. Spire Sports Group also told On3 it has now procured $30 million in NIL deals for Tennessee athletes since July 2021. So this would put them above that. This would put them up with the top. So that is super interesting. That's going to make them really compete. So,
it is, because again, money talks now. Money gets to players. That's pretty much how it's going to go.
Money talks for sure. All right. Well, do you want to get in the Marshall situation?
Yeah, we can. We can wait a little bit until we get before we get to college football, because it's interesting. Look, everybody knows that we're Georgia Southern, but I got a lot of respect for Charles Huff, and I even got respect for Marshall after I saw that movie about We Are Marshall a few years ago, back when I was a kid. So yeah, let's get into it.
So what I want to do, all right. Before I get into anything, I'm hearing there's up to 20 players in the transfer portal for Marshall.
Not a surprise.
Up to, I don't know how accurate that is. But the biggest thing for me is I want to get to before we get to the contract details, I want to talk about what is happening with Marshall, because there's been a lot of misinformation around it. The new coach they have in there is from West Virginia and wants to be there. He was the old DC for NC State. He's from West Virginia. I think he took a pay cut to come here. Or I say here like I'm a Marshall fan. I think he took a pay cut to go to Marshall. But the biggest thing and I might be wrong about that, don't quote me on that. But the biggest thing for me is there's been so much miscommunication and mistranslation stuff around it. So the athletic director had to come out and actually speak on this. So to get into a little bit of everything, there's been a little bit of drama around here, and I'm friends with a lot of Marshall fans who are a little bit closer to this than I am. Per this interview with their athletic director, and I believe it was West Virginia Metro News, I think it's who reported it. But what has been made public from the athletic director's interview, Huff turned down a contract extension at the end of 2022, which was a 9-4 season. Christian Spears is their new athletic director. He was hired around 2022 and learned that Huff has apparently been interviewing elsewhere since day one, which I'm not against you fielding offers. I feel like if I'm an athletic director, like I can't be mad about that. But during the season, man, like, can we not do this? Which comes into play a little bit later. They had an agreement this year to not interview during the season, and Huff broke it earlier this year, trying to go to Southern Miss and leverage that into a better contract with Marshall, which, again, I can't necessarily fault you for, but you had an agreement to not do it during the season, and you did it. So you broke that agreement, which made them very hesitant to re-sign him again. They were going to offer an extension, but Huff wouldn't agree to the terms of a buyout, which is mentioned in the interview. Marshall, the university apparently wanted 100% guarantee on both sides, meaning you get 100% of the contract if they fire you, or 100% is owed if you leave us, which I get because he's been interviewing everywhere since day one.
But was he doing the interviews before the season started or after?
I think before, during, and after.
Okay.
Apparently. He wasn't really fired. So he wasn't fired, and an attempt was made to extend, but he broke the agreement that he had and tried to use it as leverage that he never had, apparently. And now he's at 1-11 Southern Miss. Now, the guy they hired at Marshall is the former NC State defensive coordinator. I have his details here. Trying to find them. Where'd they go? Well, I had his details. Give me a second. His details are a little bit different. So Tony Gibson has an annual salary of $1 million, and it ends on January 31st, 2030. He has $500,000 in performance-based incentives per year. He basically gets paid a trying to find it. His buyout is $4 million before 2026, $3 million before 2027, and $2 million before 2028. It's a 6-year deal that pays him $1 million annually. And he also has a $1.9 million salary pool for assistant coaches and support staff. So he did actually take a pay cut to come to Marshall because that's where he wanted to be. NC State gave him a new 3-year contract with $1.5 million annually. And he was actually the highest paid DC in the ACC and 9th highest paid nationally. So that's what happened with that situation. Now, the Marshall coach, I have his information as well. And this might be boring for you guys, but I'll try to breeze through it. Charles Huff contract, he will make $950,000 annually, has an assistant salary pool of $1.75 million, and a separate support staff pool of $600,000. Now, his deal, if I can get into the details, is a 4-year deal with a 1-year automatic rollover. He gets paid $950,000 per year starting in 2025. And if he goes through year 5, if it's applicable, he will also still only make $950,000. It's guaranteed. His entire contract is guaranteed from what I'm seeing. And it says the coach shall have an obligation to seek other football coach-related employment, and the university shall have a right to offset the amount due to coach on a dollar-for-dollar basis by any future compensation earned by coach during the otherwise unexpired term. So I don't quite know what that means off the top. I don't want to say something and be wrong. But basically, kind of a lateral move, in my opinion, outside of getting more money for the supporting staff. But what's really, really interesting is if this is true and there's over 20 players in the portal for Marshall, I'm curious to see where they go.
A lot of them might follow him.
They might.
I mean, look, Southern Miss is in the Sun Belt.
They are. But Southern Miss is also historically not known for their success, at least over the last 4 years. They haven't done so hot over the last 4 years, if we're being honest. But I mean, I don't know how much they invest in their program either. So this is, I think, them taking a chance. So I don't know.
I can tell you one thing: Southern Miss definitely they support their program. I think I would say baseball is more popular or a lot better there than football is right now. But
you support the program that makes the most money. I mean, I completely understand that. I mean, shoot, I'm sure UNC and Duke put more money into their basketball programs than they do their football programs.
That is true.
Because why wouldn't you? You guys are known as basketball schools. Like now they're putting more money into football, but if you guys are a basketball school, you better make sure that basketball program is great. So I'm not mad at that. But that's kind of like a contract breakdown. I just wanted to kind of get ahead of a lot of this and sort of per that interview with Christian Spears, kind of put a lot of that to rest because there's been a lot of drama and a lot of, drama is the only real word for it. A lot of drama, a lot of misinformation around it. So I just kind of wanted to have that out there and put that to rest. So, Jalen, you want to go college football playoff next? Do you want to go Heisman talk?
Let's go college football playoff talk.
Let's do it. All right. So we're talking college football playoff, and I know so. Are you upset that Bama's not? I know you're upset. Do you understand why Bama's not?
I'm disappointed. Obviously, I knew it was a long shot, and obviously, we knew that we did not deserve to get in.
No, and
that's not a big surprise on that point alone. The part that has me blowed. We didn't get in. I get that, but I don't know. I just see it that we didn't get in. A lot of us are going to find excuses of why. The easiest answer is we got 3 losses on our schedule.
I don't think it was necessary. One of those losses.
Vandy doesn't hurt as bad because they end up being ranked. Oklahoma hurt the worst.
Oklahoma,
and obviously, what stung was Tennessee because we looked bad at playing it. Oklahoma hurt us at worst because that game wasn't close, and we played god awful.
Oklahoma was y'all's biggest issue. If you guys hadn't lost to Oklahoma, if you beat them by 3, you probably would have been in.
If we would just won that game, we would be in without any question. But we didn't win the game, so we had to live with the consequences.
Yep.
But like the debate was between us and SMU, and I'm thinking to myself, how did Indiana dodge all this?
Because they only have 1 loss.
But dog, who the heck did they beat?
They played a lot of teams close, did they not?
Bro, they had the same kind of issue that Miami had. Because remember, I told you to begin with the way their schedule was set up. If they fumble, if Miami fumbles any of their games because they're in the ACC, they fumble any of them, they don't make the playoff. And the reason why I say that, Miami had no ranked wins. I don't believe they had any ranked wins, and the Florida game that they dominated in didn't look that good the way the season went out. Albeit it wasn't their fault, but they had a clear path to the playoff. All they had to do was win all their games. They lose to Georgia Tech, then they lose to Syracuse.
Yep, that's
all of them were not ranked. That's what knocked them out.
Before we get too into it, I hate Florida State, but the get back right now for them is incredible. Because all the Miami fans who are whining about not being in the playoff are the same ones who laughed at Florida State for not being in the playoff.
That's true.
So it's really, as someone who has no dog in this fight, that's hilarious to me. Just to sit back and watch it happen. Karma's always going to get theirs. So in Indiana, the reason why they're in is because the only loss they had was against the number 6 team? Number 18? What's Ohio State? Number 8, number 6?
Ohio State?
Yeah.
Give me a sec.
The only loss they had was to a top 10 team.
Ohio State lost to Oregon.
Right. So Ohio State is. So I'm talking about Indiana. Loss.
No, Ohio State lost to Oregon, and then they lost to Michigan again.
Yep, again. So the only game that was close for them that they didn't win was Indiana, Michigan. They beat the brakes off of every other single team they played. And was it a super strong schedule? No. But when you're beating weak people by 50 and you only have 1 loss and it's to a top 10 team, I understand. And plus, it's a storyline. People also like to forget this is a money decision too. Does Indiana have the most fans? No. But
that was the other reason why I thought we would get it is because of money.
Business decision, absolutely. To me, though, there's 2 stories to watch in this. It's Boise and it's Indiana. And they have a chance to meet in the semifinal. Now,
no. Well, first, let me get into this one.
They have a chance.
I kind of wish these 2 would have flipped. I get why they. No, I don't get why they didn't flip. Like who? I felt like they should. I feel like Tennessee should be home and Ohio State should be on the road.
I agree.
But let me see. Your point about Boise and Indiana. I'm gonna say this again. How did Indiana get in this? Because they only played 1 real team and they got their butts kicked.
It wasn't that bad, it
was that bad.
But let me finish. Because they only lost 1 game and it was to a top 10 team. There's a reason why Boise's in at number 3 for the exact same reason. Their only loss was to the number 1 team. Their only loss was to Oregon. They beat everybody else soundly. And it was behind who I think should win the Heisman and his abilities, which we'll get into that in a minute. But to me, this game is going to show you whether Indiana is a contender or a pretender right now, because it's Notre Dame. Now, I think they could win this game because I don't think Notre Dame's that good.
I don't think Notre Dame's that good neither.
I think Indiana could win this. And I think you have Indiana in here because of the story. Because they went from...
What story they got?
Do you know what the record was last year?
I don't even care.
what I'm saying is you have one year. So Indiana is the number 2 team in the Big Ten right now. Last year, they were a 3-9 team overall, 1-8 in conference play. 1 year, one new coach. They are 11-1 overall and 8-1 in conference play, and they're 8-0 at home. That's the story. You have an underdog who flipped a team in a year. This is literally college football 25. We've all done it. We've all taken a coach to a team that shouldn't have anything.
I get that, but here's the thing. Notre Dame, Penn State, very similar. Not good in big games. Definitely are not good in playoff games.
No.
You're dealing with two teams that I don't trust, and more so than not. And I'm gonna go back to the bracket here. More so than not, they got to play Georgia.
I said they could play Boise. I never said they would play Boise. I said they could.
They're not.
I think they'll beat Notre Dame.
Georgia, I really don't trust this year, but I trust them more than I do Notre Dame and Indiana.
It entirely depends on what Carson Beck shows up.
Or if
he's even going to play.
If
he shows up. If Gunnar Stockton's in, give me Indiana.
Nah, give me Georgia.
If Gunnar Stockton is in, give me Indiana. If Carson Beck is playing, it depends. Is it early?
And I hate them dogs.
I hate them too.
Carson can't move.
And that's what I'm saying. It depends on which. If Carson Beck shows up, it depends on which Carson Beck shows up. If it's early season Carson Beck, give me Georgia. If it's the last 5 games Carson Beck, give me Indiana. That man was throwing stuff into triple coverage.
What do you see? What do you see from Arizona State?
First round exit. Or second round exit, technically, because they have a bye. I think Arizona State, they're a solid team. They're a run-first team. They're similar to Indiana. If they can control the clock, they're winning the game.
What about who you got in that Texas-Clemson matchup?
Texas.
Same.
Give me Texas.
Same.
Sark is going to eat that defense alive.
He should.
Give me Texas.
He should. I'm gonna say this now. If Quinn Ewers does not play good, you got to go ahead and make the call for Arch, man.
They will. Sark did it against Georgia. He'll do it. Sark is not afraid to make the call.
Sark did it in spurts. He didn't keep it long term.
But you also Sark came from the Saban school. Although he was a coach before he went to Saban. But my point is, Saban's the guy who pulled his full season starting quarterback in the second half. He wasn't
part of Saban school. That was more like Saban rehab.
Yeah, Saban rehab.
If you know, you know.
It's a 2-step program at Saban rehab. You come there, you get your act together, and you go somewhere else.
As of right now, this thing is wide open. It literally
honestly
is.
Yes. I think so.
The way it's set up, who you gonna go into the national championship?
I gotta walk through it. Texas, in my opinion, Texas beats Clemson. Texas beats Arizona State.
I got Tennessee beating Ohio. Okay, I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go. Tennessee beats Ohio. I'm gonna go. Tennessee beats Ohio State.
Is Texas? Is Nico playing?
Nico playing. I'm gonna go Tennessee.
Give me Tennessee.
I'm going Tennessee beating Ohio State because I don't see their secondary handling that type of offense. But I'm gonna go Tennessee handling Ohio State, and I'm gonna go Tennessee upsetting Oregon in the Rose Bowl.
I disagree. Wholeheartedly.
I got Texas in the national championship.
That Oregon, I think so. Here's where I'm at.
About Oregon, I don't truly believe in to the fullest. And I know we're running out of time.
I completely get it. So I'll go quick. I completely get it. Texas beats Clemson. Texas beats Arizona State. Tennessee beats Ohio State. Oregon beats Tennessee. I think if Oregon can keep pace offensively with Texas, they'll win it. 100%.
I'm just gonna go ahead and call it. I think it's gonna be a 3-peat. I think it's gonna be a rematch. I think it's gonna be Texas and Georgia in the national
If Texas makes it to the national championship against Georgia, Georgia will win.
I'm gonna go Texas.
Something about Kirby is Sark's kryptonite.
That I'll give you that. But here's the thing: we know Kirby's kryptonite.
And what would that be?
A dual threat quarterback.
That's true. which is why if Oregon wins the Natty against Georgia because Dylan Gabriel can move.
Well, they got weapons. I'll give you that. They got weapons.
They got weapons. They got speed.
Evan Stewart, Trayshawn Holden. Who's number 15?
Oh my
Tez
God.
Johnson.
Tez Johnson.
And they got that tight end. Oh my.
That's what I'm saying. If Oregon gets it rolling offensively, they're not getting stopped.
And Dan, I like Dan Lanning, but something about Oregon this year, I don't necessarily.
Their defense.
What about
their defense? They've had to correct me if I'm wrong, but every game I've seen with them, they've had to outscore. And now they have the ability to do it, which isn't the issue. But here's the thing. I know. We're going. But that's why Oregon, Tennessee, I think is going to be the matchup to watch. The Rose Bowl is going to be it. But I think Boise, I see Boise versus UGA. Boise versus UGA.
No. Okay.
Go back to the bracket.
All right. Give me
real quick. I got Indiana winning against Notre Dame. I'm cautious about picking them over Georgia, but I will.
I'm not. Georgia going to beat them.
I got SMU beating Penn State because I don't think they can keep up with them offensively.
Like John Franklin, I'm sorry, bro. You cannot win a big game. But then again, this is the perfect opportunity for them to be able to kill that narrative.
Yeah. I think Boise beats SMU because I think a slow, methodical offense is SMU's kryptonite. And then I think Boise... All right, I want to say something bold and potentially stupid.
Go ahead.
I think Oregon-Boise rematch in the Natty. And I think Oregon wins again.
I'm going to go Texas, and I'm going to go Georgia.
And you think Georgia wins?
No.
You think Texas wins? You think they finally do it?
They got to play Arch. They have to play Arch.
They won't. If
they play Arch, they beat Georgia. If they don't, they're not winning. Quinn Ewers can't beat that defense.
UGA might three-peat. If it's UGA Texas, UGA is going to three-peat. But I think it's going to be Oregon and Boise. I think Boise. Boise is.
No, I don't trust Boise.
I trust Boise.
Genty, you good.
But they tried that, and Madsen threw for like 400 yards. That's the thing. Boise is an offensively all-around team, and they have very quietly had one of the best corners in the league on their defense.
I don't know, man.
I think Boise's going to be all right. I'm not worried about Boise.
We got to move on.
All right, let's keep going. Heisman time.
Yeah.
You know who I got. And I know who you got. For those who don't know, I have Ashton. Mr. Jacksonville native himself, although he did live in Texas. He was born in Jacksonville. It's on his ESPN stuff. You can check it out. Jalen has Travis Hunter.
I got Travis.
Now for me, we all know this is a two-person race.
We got 10 minutes.
I'll go quick. Yeah. Yes, it's a 4-person race technically.
It was always a 2.
We always know it was a 2. We always have known it was a 2.
Look, the finalists is Travis Hunter, Ashton Genty, Dylan Gabriel of Oregon, and Cam Ward of Miami. Cam his chances died when in Syracuse.
Yep.
Dylan, think about his team's undefeated, but I don't know, he hasn't had that moment.
He hasn't had that part, and that's just it. Is Dylan Gabriel's done what he's always done.
Yep.
Which he throws for a lot of yards, and he does fine. He takes care of the football. He's done what he's always done, but he hasn't. I guess to me, the way I look at the Heisman list, and I got into somebody earlier, the way I look at the Heisman Award, okay. I think Hunter is going to win it.
I do too. That's why I'm picking.
But I think Genty could win it, is what I'm saying. And the reason why is because Hunter is a great defensive back and a good wide receiver. He's not a great wide receiver. He's a good one, and he's on the cusp of great. Now, the people who are like, oh, well, if he had 300 touches, no wide receiver gets 300 touches. That's not the point. They're entirely different positions. No. You can't compare that. But what I look at is who would be where they're at without their star player. Boise would not be the number 3 team in the country without Ashton Genty's 2,700, almost 2,700 all-purpose yards and 30 touchdowns.
I agree with that.
So that's where I'm at with that, and why I think Genty should win it. This is one of the most dynamic.
What you're talking about is value. You're talking about value. If there was a college football MVP, it would be Ashton Genty. That's not what the Heisman is about. The Heisman is about the best player in college football.
Right, but that's how I would quantify the best player, is who is been literally carrying their team to their point where they're at right now. And Travis Hunter is, again, this is not, I want to be very, 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 very clear. This is not a slight to Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter is a great player. He's an incredible player. He's going to be playing. Both these guys are playing on Sunday. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But to me, I think Genty is the most valuable player in college football. I think he is the best player in college football. I think he brings a dynamic just style to the game that we have not seen since Barry Sanders. Now, I think was it Jonathan Taylor? No. It's Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon also had an insane yardage performance. And the only reason why he didn't win the Heisman is because Marcus Mariota had one of the best years we've ever seen out of a quarterback in college football. That is the only reason why Melvin Gordon did not win the Heisman, is because someone had a better season statistically than him. I think it was the year Oregon went to the national championship, if I'm right. So, but to me, I think Ashton, and I might be wrong on that. Please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But to me, I think Ashton Genty deserves to win the Heisman. I think he should win the Heisman. But I think purely based on media, it is going to go to Travis Hunter.
I gotta make this. I gotta make this one quick.
Go for it.
It's gonna be Travis Hunter. It should be Travis Hunter, and it will be Travis Hunter. He's got the storyline behind him, going from the first, I think, 5-star to go to an HBCU in a very long time.
Right.
Then he transferred to Wood Coach Prime, and he's doing something that a lot of people thought was not going to be possible or hasn't been seen since Charles Woodson. What Ashton Genty is doing, and this is nothing to take away what he has done.
For sure.
But what he's done, he got similar stats to Derrick Henry. He got similar stats to Eddie George.
He has way better stats than Derrick Henry.
He got way better stats than King Henry, and he won the Heisman. He's doing, like, basically his stats and his position has been seen and been done for a long time. He's just doing it better than the ones in the past. We acknowledge that. We recognize that. Here's the issue. We have not seen what Travis Hunter is doing on both sides of the ball. It ain't about the snaps. It's about the level of production that he's done on either side of the ball.
I hear what you're saying.
It's about the efficiency that he's doing at the inside of the ball. It's about the 92 receptions for 1,152 yards on offense, 14 receiving touchdowns, and offense, which is second in CU history. It's about the one rushing touchdown. And on defense, on the other side of it, when he's playing quarterback, it's about the 31 tackles. It's about the 11 pass breakups. It's about the 4 INTs. It's about only allowing 22 receptions on 39 targets. 6 interceptions, might I add. It's about ranking third in Power 4 and 8 in the FBS for passes defended.
One of those interceptions is wild. Like, I'm talking about the one where the guy threw into triple coverage and Travis happened to be the closest to the ball. But again, not a slight to the guy, but I remember when that happened to me, it was like, oh my God. I'm like, somebody would have gotten that.
And dog, here's the last thing, and I end it. The Heisman is about moments. It is about spectacular moments. It's about highlight level plays that you will remember for the rest of your life. We will remember the numbers of Ashton Genty because it's been up there with some of the greats. But the moments that Travis Hunter has made this year on primetime, on ESPN, on Fox, is going to be remembered for a long time. The interceptions, the one hand, they're going up over 3 guys to get a catch. The Colorado State game. Heck, the first game of the season when he had 3 TDs. And then the constant Heisman poses.
Travis Hunter, as we're recording this, did win the Bednarik Award.
Yep.
So Defensive Player of the Year.
Yep.
But like if we're going statistics too, and you're right, he has had Heisman moments.
We can't just go statistics on the Heisman though.
I hear what you're saying, but Genty's had Heisman moments, 6 touchdowns in a game against us.
I know, but we're not a good defensive team.
No, but 6 touchdowns in a game is insane. And yes, Travis Hunter is second in the nation in receiving touchdowns. I'll give him that for sure. And again, what I'm saying is not a slight to him. But I think with what Genty has done, everybody else outside of Melvin Gordon who has had a season like he has won the Heisman at a running back position. Derrick Henry won the Heisman. Mark Ingram won the Heisman.
Yep.
I know. I'm pretty sure Barry Sanders won the Heisman.
But who's the other pure athlete? Because that's what he is. He's a cornerback / wide receiver. That's an athlete. Who's another athlete that has won the Heisman? The
Charles
last
Woodson.
one was. That's the last one. That's the one. That's the other one.
And I think that's I think Hunter will win the Heisman, but I don't think he should. I think Hunter will win the Heisman for the storyline. I think Hunter will win the Heisman because while he's had a great year, I don't think he's had a better year than Genty, but I think he's had a great year. But regardless, it is we'll absolutely see. And again, regardless, because I don't want any hate coming my way. I don't care. This is not a slight to either player. They're both great athletes. They're both great people. I wish them nothing but success. I know we both do. They're both going to be playing on Sunday. They're both going to be great.
Real quick, before we get into our NFL pick'ems for Week 15. Actually, I think this is Week 14 now. I'm really
Week 15.
Okay.
No, it's Week 15.
All right. Before we get into that, who you got in the Army-Navy game? Which again we talked about early on before the season started.
With Jake, I think it should be its own week.
Yep.
Should absolutely be its own week.
Yep.
But
who you got?
Is the Army quarterback playing?
I think so.
If the Army quarterback's playing, I got Army. If he's not, give me Navy.
I'm going Army all day because they still got Jeff Monken.
Mm-hmm. I think if the Army starting quarterback is playing, give me Army.
Yep. Let's get into the pick'ems.
Let's do it.
All right, guys. We didn't keep track of last week. Probably should have.
I've been. This is the busiest.
Did you keep track of it?
No. I could probably dig it up. This has been the.
I said for the last time.
I didn't keep track. No, for me, this is. I think I did. No, I didn't. So for me, like this, I want to apologize for the inconsistency too. This is the busiest time of year for me work wise, so it's been absolutely nuts for me. Got a pen now. We're gonna keep track of it. All right, Jalen, let's go.
All right, so the Rams and the Niners are playing right now. I kind of need the Niners to win based on the.
I got the Niners
for the NFC West. So we're not going to count that game. Chiefs and Browns, nope, not going to count that. Bengals and Titans, nope, not going to count that.
Give me the Bengals. Give me the Bengals. Give me the Chiefs. Give me the Niners.
We're only going to pick 5 that are good.
No,
that
I
are
know.
Going to be good ones.
We'll do your Seahawks. We'll do my Jags.
All right, we'll start off with the Jags. Your Jags are going to your Jags that's at 3-10 against the Jets that are 3-10. The battle again, another toilet bowl game.
The mid-off part
this
2.
Is below mid.
Listen. I'm wearing a hat because we won. This is my victory hat.
But you're still bad.
I didn't disagree. And I think we'll get to wear it next week too. Because the Jets have, I don't know how they do it. While the Chiefs always find a way to win, the Jets this season have always found a way to lose.
I'm going to go Jets.
Give me the Jags.
Give me the Jets. It's going to be 73 degrees in Jacksonville. Aaron Rodgers been playing good in good weather, so I'm gonna go Jets on that one. You know what? F it. I'll do it.
You gonna ride with me?
Dallas and Carolina.
All right.
I'm going Panthers.
Yeah, I'm going Panthers too.
I'm gonna go Panthers.
I think Legette's going to have a bounce back game. Bryce, for those who have been doubting Bryce Young, Jalen, what have you and I been telling people?
I'm happy for my dog Bryce. I'm happy. Like, I don't know what Rod Wave said to him, but I feel like we all kind of need that in our lives. But
hey, Rod Wave said that to me.
I'm happy for him.
Don't isolate that case for something bad.
This next one's going to be a big one. And I shouldn't ignore it. Indy at Denver. Oh, these afternoon games are way better than the early ones.
Mm-hmm. Give me the Colts.
I'm gonna go Broncos. Broncos on a hot streak. Not to mention they got that last spot in the wild card. They lose a game, they could open up. They could open up a lot of things that they didn't want to open up. Possibly the game of the week. Bills at Detroit. I'm going Lions.
Oh, it's at Detroit?
It's at Detroit. I'm going Lions.
Yeah, I'm going Detroit too.
Yep. Steelers at Philly. Been some drama with Philly with Jalen Hurts and the receiving core, but I'm not gonna draw too much into it. This one's kind of like iffy for me because
this is our fifth game, by the way.
It's gonna be a good game. It's the battle of Pennsylvania. The game is gonna be in Lincoln. I don't know, man, because I like the Steelers and I like the Eagles at the same time.
I think give me the Steelers, and I would like to formally apologize to Russell Wilson.
You should.
He has proven me wrong. I apologize. Happy for you. You are now, once you went from Mr. Limited back to Mr. Unlimited, so good for you. I'm happy for you. I think you beat Philly. I don't think this Philly team is that good.
I think the Steelers, well, here's the thing. The Eagles are obviously trying to chase the Lions for that number 1 seed. Both teams need it as far as seeding. Well, the Steelers needed to be able to keep their advantage against the Ravens wide enough because the Ravens, they got the Giants this week. So
Ravens are winning that game. By the way,
who you got?
I got the Steelers.
I'm gonna go Philly.
All right. That was game number 5. Do you want to squeeze in one more? Or you want to keep it at 5?
Of course.
You want to squeeze in the Seahawks?
Heck yeah, we got the Packers. This is a big one. This is a big one.
I know who you're taking. Packers, right?
No. even though I picked Jordan Love to be my MVP this year, no.
Give me Seattle.
Not to mention we got the line. We got the action light like glow in the dark green like that game.
Give me Seattle.
What?
Give me Seattle. Jordan Love has been having a bad season.
I ain't even gonna say bad. It's just like he hasn't had a great season. But
It's
bad.
Compared
it's not even mid.
Compared
to above average.
Compared to what it's slightly above mid. Compared to what it was supposed to be, this man was being heralded as a top 10 quarterback.
Still potentially could be.
He's looking top 15 for sure.
That run game though.
No, the run, that's what's been carrying them this whole season. Josh Jacobs said Vegas should have paid me.
Yeah. He made the right decision.
He did, absolutely.
Think about it. Remember, Green Bay went from Aaron Jones to Josh Jacobs.
Mm-hmm. I can't be mad at it.
At all.
All right, man.
It's gonna be a good game, but I'm hoping like we handle our business. We on a hot streak right now. If the Niners can hold the lead and get this dub, we got a much wider gap. But I'd rather just continue to handle my business.
All right. 2 quick updates before we get out of here. As of recording this, Ashton Genty has won the Doak Walker Award, which surprises nobody. And I want to give a big shout out to old Dick Vitale here. He is now
cancer-free. Thank you,
per
Jesus.
ESPN cancer-free. Shout out Dick Vitale. I can't wait to hear you on a broadcast again, man. That's gonna be great. Happy for you. Jalen, you got anything else you want to get into?
Nah, you know what we do.
Let's do it. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. We really do appreciate the time. Like I said, you can find us live going forward if you're listening to secondhand. We'll try to give you more heads up next time. It's just been a hectic time of the year. We're probably not going to get a recording in Christmas week. That is what it is. We're going to take it off, spend time with our families. Love y'all, but love my family more. And
we might do something. We might do like a special Christmas day, Christmas episode, just not on the day.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. That's down the road. I ain't worried about that right now.
That's your birthday, so like we
got that's your birthday.
Plus, I celebrate either before or after the day actually hits.
We'll figure it out. So, but yeah, thank you guys for listening. We really do appreciate it. If you like the show, you can follow us on Twitter, follow us on YouTube at TDSN Pod. You can comment live on YouTube. You can find us live on StreamYard. You can listen back. And if you like the show, rate it 5 stars, whatever platform you listen to. If you didn't like the show, or leave a comment too. Don't know why it works, but it does. Feed the algorithm gods. Keep us moving up them sports podcast charts. If you did not like the show, what's wrong with you? But second of all, you go your way, we'll go ours. Is totally fine. There's no reason to take it out on either one of us. You gave it a shot. We appreciate it, but we can't give you the 52 minutes of your life back. Would if we could, but we can't. So if you retweet the show, if you share the show, if you like the show, and you comment the show, and you let us know, you will get a shout out. Or if you're the show that we like and think you'll like as well, or collab with in the past, you get a shout out as well. So those people are going to be Jim over at Fan of the Van. Go check out the show him and I do called Steel and Teal. A little more unhinged than this one. Go check out Brent over at 1420 Sports. Go check out Aaron over at Brutally Out of Sports. Darian over at Chill Takes. Go follow him on TikTok as well, and Twitch and all those places. Average of Sports, go check out E-Man over there, and go check out the show him and Jim do called Cigar and Sports. John over Wrestling Fan Insight if you're looking for wrestling news. Always go check out Sports After Dark. And if you're looking to gamble, don't bet the house. Please gamble responsibly and go listen to Nate's Daily Wager. If I missed you, you know who you are. You know we still love you. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Real quick before we go, trying to think. Nope, lost it. Come on, man, where is it at? I want to be able to end the show. Yes, I do. I want to be able to end the show. Man, I hate that I lost it.
What was it?
It was a game I wanted you, or like something to talk about.
Video game or
no, not that. Sheesh. I hate that I forgot it. But anyway,
all good. Basketball, football, hockey, soccer, college football.
You should know it's not hockey.
I know, I'm messing with you. I know you don't like hockey. I like hockey, but
No, I like hockey when it's playoffs.
Shout out Savannah Ghost. Shout out my local Savannah Ghost Pirates, man. I think we're top of the league right now. I hadn't been to a hockey game in a long time, even though it's minor league. Man, I had a blast. Now I'm going back. Yep. So I need to get some Ghost Pirates gear. So you got it?
Nah, but I'm gonna let it go.
Cool. All right, man. Well, thank you. And as always, we'll see you next time.
Peace.